All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 442 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern Atlanta Falcons football. And today, we're going to talk about both teams because both teams had a win this weekend, and it was pretty fun to watch. And I want to give you my thoughts and opinions on what the Falcons look like so far this season. And I'm also going to talk about what Georgia Southern looks like as they go into conference play. If you've seen the title already, you kind of know what I'm saying, and I know it's going to be a lot of people maybe disagreeing, maybe think I'm crazy, but that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I'm going to tell you mine. I want to let you guys know that the Falcons are actually playing pretty good football. I mean, I don't see too much craziness out there outside of the quarterback play, but I don't see anything crazy out there to make you say that is all doom and gloom. And also, Georgia Southern's about to start conference play. They're going to go to Conway, South Carolina, and play Coastal Carolina. And I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions about what's going on there. If this is your first time here, welcome. This is the First and Frame Rate Show. I talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. I am on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. So if you want to listen to the podcast at your own leisure, those avenues are there if you want to listen to the podcast side. All the links are down in the description if you want to donate or support in any way, form, or fashion. I also have a Patreon where I do an extra episode every week. That episode is not up yet. It should be up later on today. Be on the lookout for that if you are a Patreon supporter. Kind of got caught up in a lot of other things. Wasn't able to finish the recording, so it will be up. So I do give you my apologies for that. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. I know I have the Georgia Southern thing up on the logo up on the screen. I'm going to keep it there the entire time. I didn't manage to put a Falcons one up. I do give you my apologies for that as well. But I want to start off talking about the Falcons. The Falcons look pretty good against the Seattle Seahawks. And, you know, Marcus Mariota almost gave the game away with another fumble. But overall, the team looked pretty good. And I've been looking back on these other two games against the Rams. And you also had another a game against the Saints. Overall, the team looks pretty good. It's not a really bad team. I think this team is very aggressive. They look like they're trying to get at the quarterback. They also look like they're trying to win football games collectively. And I think that's something that we've all been wanting. Now, people talk about the pass rush, thought the pass rush wasn't all that, but the pass rush came when it mattered. We got after Geno Smith when it mattered. We hit the quarterback a few times throughout these other games. I think that we're okay in that department. Got an interception by we had a couple of turnovers. We had some turnovers in the Rams game, and we had a turnover in the Seahawks game. I can't remember if it was one in the Saints game. I have to look back and see. I don't have the screen up on me right here right now for the Saints game per se. But they look like a pretty solid team. The quarterback play is so-so, but the receivers are looking nice. The running game is looking pretty stout. The offensive line is actually, they're blocking and protecting a little bit better than they were last year. I think the Falcons are playing pretty good football. I don't see too many deficiencies to say where, this team is doom and gloom for the season. They managed to get back in the game versus the Rams. They should have won against the Saints. I think overall we're going to be fine. Yes, we're 1-2 right now. We'll see how things go in the next few weeks. But I think the Falcons collectively are playing good football. I don't see nothing where that's completely glaring. Like I said, I put a lot of blame on the quarterback for what's going on in these in the losses, and almost the loss from yesterday. Almost gave up that game too. But the defense stepped up and they closed the game out. And as a collective, you want all sides of the ball to be on point when you're trying to win a game. You just cannot rely on one aspect. Yes, it does make things easier when you have a full-fledged pass rush all the time. And I know that's what a lot of people be saying. We need pass rush. We need pass rush. But there's other things to take into place that could possibly get us some pass rush. Yes, we do need slightly better coverage because we got a defensive back there that keep getting damn near getting cooked every game. It would be nice to, to run the ball much more effectively outside of Cordell Patterson, which I don't have a problem with Cordell Patterson running the ball the way he is. It looks like he's doing okay for the most part. And that's what you want to see out of anybody who's going to contribute. So I think at the end of the day, we're going to have a fairly solid season. I just think we need to if we get out our own way, we could have been 3-0. If we get out our own way, we could probably win the next 3 games. And at the end of the day, it's not much more you can ask for, because I feel that this team has all the tools to be something. We got the coach, we got the personnel, we got the coordinators. I'm not seeing too much where I'm thinking like, oh, we possibly could, end up getting like a top 10 pick. But my thing is, if we continue to make certain mistakes, but the talent-wise, this talent-wise isn't a type of talent on this team to say that, oh, this is a top 10 pick team. I've been saying this for the longest now. I think this team is good. I think they're better than most people think they are. But what I will say is you're going to run into other teams that's actually more established and better. You know what I'm saying? You're just going to have other teams that's just going to be more established and better. The Rams is a perfect example of that. We managed to go toe-to-toe with them, but like I said, they're a better team at the end of the day. And it showed, and pretty much it showed down the stretch. So I think it's something that we need to really hang our hat on. I think the Falcons is going to be fine. I think they're playing good football overall. I don't think there's anything there to say like, oh man, we can't do this, we can't do that. I think this team can do anything and everything on the field, from pass rush to get interceptions. The coverage could be a little bit better. The quarterback play could be a little bit better. We can run the ball. We're catching the ball like crazy. Drake London's going off. Kyle Pitts got a good bit of catches this week. So we got something going here. The main thing is we just have to cut down on a few mistakes that we have and just continue to, continue to put a pressure on the other teams. So let me know what you guys think on that. Before I get out here, I want to talk about Georgia Southern. Yes, we're going into conference play. Georgia Southern is going to be playing Coastal Carolina, which is a team that kind of had our number for the most part for the past few years. But during conference play, I want to give you guys a rundown of who we're playing. I'm going to pull it up on my phone real quick. Give you a quick rundown of who we're playing. And I already been on record saying that we're going to go 8-4. I already said it. We're at 3-1 right now. We got 5 more games to win to go 8-4. And we're going up against Coastal Carolina, Georgia State, James Madison, Old Dominion, Southern Alabama, University of Louisiana, Marshall, and Appalachian State. I believe we can get 5 wins out of those games. So out of the next 8 games, can we get 5 wins? I think so. I really do. 4 of them, 4 of them are going to be at home. And I am kind of iffy about this Coastal Carolina and James Madison, but I'm not afraid of Appalachian State and Marshall. Not anymore. I'm not. I was afraid of them. I thought those are going to be 2 teams that's probably going to give us the most trouble. I don't believe that we'll lose to Appalachian State in Paulson, so I kind of wrote that off as a win. But I was kind of worried about Marshall. But after Marshall losing to Troy, I think Marshall's starting to show their true. I ain't gonna say they're showing their true colors, but I think they're just basically showing you who they are. They went up there to Bend, South Bend, Indiana, and beat Notre Dame, and then they turn around and lay an egg against Troy. And that's the saying. It's like, okay, what are we doing here? Appalachian State looked really good. Once again, they almost laid an egg against Troy, but they let James Madison come back and beat them after, they were up 28-3. So, I mean, what kind of, I don't think we're looking at a high and mighty App State team. I just don't. I think Marshall's coming into the Sun Belt looking pretty good, but I don't think they're going to be able to contest with Georgia Southern in Paulson. That's just my personal opinion. So those 2 games that a lot of people are probably writing off, I don't know. I think that we can win the last 2 games of the season. Now, James Madison, I'm not sure too much about James. I don't know too much about James Madison. They could probably come in and sneak a win on us against us in Paulson. Now, if we do, in Paulson. I'm sorry, I'm looking at it wrong. So that may be a team that we may be struggling against. So I'm looking at Coastal Carolina, James Madison, and I'm just saying, maybe South Alabama, because they've been looking pretty good this year as well. They beat us down last year too. So we owe them a butt whooping, but I don't know. because they still look like they can roll pretty well. Old Dominion, I don't know. I think the Old Dominion kind of fell off a little bit. I'm not really afraid of them either. I think they got some pretty good athletes, but I really think that we can get them as well. So really, out of the next 8 games we got, Coastal Carolina and James Madison is like the only 2 games I'm worried about. So that gives us a 9-3 record possibly. But that's just the way I feel. I think this Georgia Southern team is starting to find their way. I think after the Nebraska, UAB, and Ball State games, all 3 of them, they kind of figured out what type of team they are, and they pulled things together to beat this Ball State team, which a lot of people try to give them, some type of, they try to down them a little bit, but Ball State did play a pretty good game. Ball State was very similar to UAB, to be honest with you. They had a running back that was, 6 foot, 230, 620 pounds, 620, wow. 6 foot, 215 pounds. He was ready to go, and we stopped him. They had the same type of running back with UAB, and we couldn't stop him. So we made some adjustments to actually step to the plate and stop the run. Excellent tackling from Georgia Southern this go around. And I don't know if Grayson McCall's going to be playing for Coastal. That's going to be a big deal, I think. I think it's going to be a big deal. I'm not even worried about Georgia State. I'm sorry. I'm going to make an episode about Georgia State and why I feel the way I feel about Georgia State. I'm definitely going to make a video about that. Not just a video, but an episode about that in the coming days or maybe next week. It'll probably be best to do it next week because it's going to be Southern, not State week. We'll talk about that down the road. These other games, and before I close, I'm going to finish this up. James Madison is a team that I'm afraid of. I'm not going to lie. You come back against App State, at Boone, North Carolina, that gives me a cause to pause a little bit. ODU, we going up there. I'm not really too keen on that. I can see it being lost, but I don't see too much of it. South Alabama is a formidable opponent. UL, they fell all the way off. They just lost to ULM. I'm not even worried about them too much. Even though we're going up to Louisiana, I think with Cal Van Treese and company, we should be fine. And I'm looking at Marshall and Appalachian State. Those 2 teams just don't look as strong as I thought they were. That doesn't mean we can't lose to them. But as of right now, my 8-4 prediction is looking pretty good. I just don't see anywhere else that will say otherwise. When you only got 1 team on your schedule, maybe 2 teams on your schedule out of the last 8 games, that could be a problem. I mean, you're looking at almost 5 to 6 wins, and I'm sticking with that. So let me know what you guys think. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This is the First and Frame Rate Show. We talk about Georgia Southern, Atlanta Falcons football. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you guys for all the support. You guys have been phenomenal. I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to slide up out of here. I am going to go and get ready for the next day. As far as the episode goes, I have to, get myself together throughout the day and do some things, but I want to get myself together for the next episode because I'm having fun doing this, and it's all thanks to you guys. All right, y'all, all the links are down in the description if you want to support in any form or fashion, and I will see you guys on the next one. Enjoy your Monday. Hopefully all is well. You guys take it easy. You guys be blessed. Peace.